welcome everybody, of course, to another amazing Extreme Business Set Mind series. Well, this is actually an episode, isn't it? If I'm being sort of politically correct on TV. So another episode with the amazing Lee Tunney, all the way from Ireland, and myself, Paul Rees, from the west of Wales. Celtic getting together day and night is where we are. And you know what? I have a subject this week, Lee, that's quite, I know, in many ways it's political, in many ways it's personal. You know, it really depends on how you see yourself in business. But I want to talk about the 4 Ps. The 4 Ps in business. Now, here's the thing. This is something I kind of made up for myself some time ago. And I'm going to be truthful. I not put enough, I'm going to say, emotional confidence behind it, because the slight chat we had off air before we come on, which was, you know, Paul, understand the importance of consumption, understand the importance of quality no's and surround yourself with the right yeses. So here we are. There are 4 sections to this, and we're going to cover this. Our listeners and viewers, in 30 minutes. I've got the timer on. We're 1 minute 16 in. Here we are. So it's the 3 Ps: personal, passion, people, profits. Now, I've got them in that direction: personal, passion, people, and profits. Now, why have I gone here? Here's the thing. The majority of SME businesses are made from a personal passion, although I don't want to put those 2 things together. Personal passion, you have to have the right people then to complement your personal passion, then to go into profits. But there's a complete inside out to this. If it's too personal, then the passion is being driven by drama. And if the passion is driven by drama, then you are surrounding yourself by drama people. That creates negative profits or even drama profits. Now, this is just my sort of 4 Ps that I use in business. But Lee, I am so eager to hear what you think about this.
Well, I'd throw in another P.
I knew you would.
Yeah. Professional, personal and professional, because to separate the 2.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I think a lot of people make the professional too personal. I don't mean having no passion in it. I mean that if you took it into a team environment, so this is just to cover the professional and the personal bit.
Yeah.
You take it into a team environment. Let's say, I don't know, somebody comes up with an idea. Do you know what? I was thinking X, Y, Z, Paul, and I think it'd be really great for X.
Mm-hmm.
And the challenge is, depending on what level of leadership or management they're in, there is so many different variables as you move up in the business, like leadership levels, let's say, that there's a lot of moving parts. And there can be a lot of, if you want to put another P in politics, there's politics within the personal, there's the politics within the professional, and there's the politics within the politics. Yeah, where you'll always know when you're in it, because the word you'll hear is, I feel like I should do it.
Oh, yeah, I see that.
It's not something I want to do, but I feel like I have to.
Mm-hmm. And
that means somebody's got like a hold on your emotional currency.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so there's a P that will keep them all safe. Yeah, it's the protocol. What's your protocol? Or what's your policies? Yeah.
Yeah.
And procedures.
Because a lot of people, we should just call it the P's of all business.
The P's of all business, because in business, so if you went to a top brand and you went to go through to do something with somebody, collaboration, it doesn't matter whether it's in the good or you're trying to be sly, let's say. They're going to have protocols. Yeah, they're going to have policies. They're going to have procedures. And the reason those policies and procedures and protocols in place, so if you took it into the council, you can't give support, like whether this still stands, but I understand what it still stands, is you can't go in and give somebody, even if they've been decent to you in the personal, you can't go and give somebody in a government or local authority position, you can't go in and give them a gift, even if it's a Kit Kat from to have a break. You can't, and the reason you can't is because of a fundamental principle in life called reciprocity.
Reciprocity. I
Reciprocity.
say that.
Yeah, that's all right. Me too. My diction isn't the best. But on Robert now might say this name too well. Robert Dalgini. Yeah, Robert Dalgini authored the book called Psychological Persuasion and Influence. Also another book called Pre. Now, bear in mind I have dyslexia, but I'm sure it's PRE, Persuasion.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the persuasion, the before the persuasion.
Yeah.
So it's the setup for the persuasion. Now, I'm sure you've been in those hotels where you see the card that says about reusing, for the sake of the environment, reusing the towels. Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, people like Robert Dalgini, and bear in mind, it's not just his opinion. They studied this to a really deep level with experiments, on social experiments and different things like that, to know, I suppose, the emotional triggers or the emotional compliance to groups being sectors within society. A lot of his stuff will be utilised in taxation. I'm sure you've all seen the red bill that comes through the door. Yeah, that red is specifically designed as a psychological trigger.
Yeah.
So when we're back to personal and professional, in your business, if you're in your business and you find it hard to say no to certain people, some people find it hard to say no. It's what level? Yeah, I can never say no to Paul. I can never say no to Paul. Have you ever wanted to say no to Paul? Oh, yeah, a few times, but I feel like I can never say no to Paul. Now, this is where it comes back to negative or positive or toxic. Paul might be aware of it. Doesn't mean that because Paul does it, he's actually consciously aware of what he does. He's just got his organic way of doing things. When you're aware of these organic triggers, then you can hold Paul accountable, or John or Mary accountable, and say, well, you're doing this deliberately, you're doing that. Deliberately means with intent. Now, when the government do it, it's done with intent because they're looking to have a specific outcome. They're looking to govern. And this is where I think, I'm going to come away from this because this could sound conspiracy-like, but it's not. The government put a lot of effort into understanding what emotionally and psychologically drives us so they can govern us. And I think the transition in it that should be flipped back. They're not there to govern humans. They're there to govern policies and procedures to support humans.
Isn't that, though, true for all leadership in business?
Well, that's the point. Whether it's in business, whether it's in life as a parent or a guardian, or whether it's in government. Yeah, democracy, the word democracy that supersedes everything, or the word parent, it means something. Guardian means something. And when you wear that title, or business owner, or manager, or leader, these titles, bear in mind the titles that give us the authority to manage things. Now, sometimes in business, we're managing emotional states. Sometimes as a husband or a wife or a partner, we're managing emotional states. The emotional investment we have in our partner or our child or our husband or our wife, whatever the terminology is, the emotional investment is to ensure a reciprocal interaction. That means reciprocal means it's nurturing, it's supportive, it's respect, it's dignity, it's honor, all rolled up into one, whether that be in government or whether that be in life or whether that be in business. So when we come back to the personal,
let me jump in there quickly. So could all that you said there, because let's think about this. So when I say think about it, myself, that is, we have personal and professional, we're going to kind of put in one, creates the passion. All you said is that wrapped up in passion in order to, because what I wanted to link is...
Yeah, but the personal and professional in the passion, I would agree with you, to somebody that's self-aware.
Okay.
Yeah, so somebody that has a plan, that knows why they're here. If they can't have passion, you can have passion for profits.
Okay.
But if you have passion for profits, you don't have passion for people.
Oh my God, that makes so much sense.
So if you've got passion for people and you're looking for an ecosystem in your passion, so you've got passion for people, and then you plan and put your policies and procedures in to create profits to be able to facilitate the people, then you're in an ecosystem. But if you just got passion for profits and everything the people do is for profits, then the people within the team or the profits doesn't necessarily mean cash. The profits could be rewards, as in it could be ego. So even in the relationship, when you were back to a relationship in the personal, not the business, what is the currency of your relationship? Is it that, and bear in mind, our perspective isn't always right. Our perspective, our drama, or because we're not fulfilling our passion, or because we feel uninspired in a relationship, whether that be with a manager or with a partner, our perspective could be our paranoia P.
Wow, bear with me, Lee, because it's massive.
Yeah.
Are we saying that it's possible that passion can be wrongly shaped from past drama?
Well, passion can also, it depends. See, it has to have a beginning, it has to have an end. I mean, so for example, supposedly, and I say supposedly because I don't know, I've never witnessed it, so I can only go on, I'm standing on the shoulders of giants here. I don't know, nor have I got the time to go and find out. If the data's correct, then, which I assume because I've never witnessed it, and there's a few variables that make me question it. One being that the Encyclopedia Britannica pre-1958 gave a reference that we had a flat Earth. And it was in all reference prior to that. Now we've got a round Earth. I don't know. So I'm not a flat earther or a round earther, but in my head, it seems logical for my teachers that we live on a round Earth. So if we live on a round Earth, we start at the North Pole, and we got a compass, and I want to look for north. Where does it point? Because I'm right in the center of north. So where does it point? I don't know. I'm in the center of north. So where does it point? It's going to point north. So if I keep walking north and I walk, I mean, if I get 100 foot away, it's going to point that way. Because when you're in the center of something, but if I'm round at the South Pole and I get my compass, it's going to point north. And if I'm walking around the globe, I'm going to get to north. If I just keep walking, I'm going to get to north. Don't matter where you put me. If you put me out round here, it's going to point to north. I'm going to go that way. If you put me round here, it's going to point this way. So there's a beginning and an end. So where does north end and where does west start and where does south start? But it always points north. So it might sound irrational, but the point is, what is your North Star? And if you can't put a pin in the map for your true north, then your passion is sporadic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because we're not on about passion. Am I passionate about my relationship with Ros? Am I passionate about my kids succeeding? Am I passionate about the charities I support? Am I passionate about the areas that I value? And so it can be like, passion can be a bit like a salad, but there's no focus in that. So if I'm, and there's nothing wrong with it, I like to be as passionate in everything I do.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm passionate in other people's success, but then their success isn't mine. So if I'm taking my passion to support Paul and elevating Paul, but that takes away my profits, then I become the victim of Paul's success.
Could we say that
reciprocation comes in? That's right. That's why we have to be wholesome and symbiotic in. But when we're talking to unaware people or people that are in their drama and medicating themselves and believe success is their operation, where they can get off their diagnosis and their whole, because some people are only looking for success to have completion, unity of self, to find their true north.
Wow. So if we think about sporadic passion, and because I'm taking notes here, sporadic passion is the result of reactive decision making that's been made to prop up your synthetic self-worth. What's your thought?
In a roundabout way, that would be a good synopsis of it. There's a few variables in it. Me, we and us. So if I care about somebody, or I'm passionate about somebody, or I'm passionate about a certain community, and as a leader in that community, and I'm supporting that leader to elevate them, and I'm supporting them from a personal capacity, then what can happen is when that person gets elevated, I don't necessarily have to be rewarded because they've had success. I don't have to be recognized. But if my drama is that, well, when I lift Paul up, Paul will see me and Paul will reward me. If I'm doing that as the little boy or the little girl that wants the lollipop and the star, and Paul doesn't do that, then I feel that Paul's used me.
Oh, wow. I see that.
Where am I passionate about being seen, or am I passionate about the community I support? Do I only support them because I want a lollipop and a gold star? Wow. If I'm honourable and integral and aware, we all have our own, let's call it, triggers or drama. I mean, what is somebody that's integral? Somebody that's actually got past the majority of it. Can we get past it all? I don't know. I mean, are we even aware of what triggers us when we become responsible? Yeah, when we become autonomous. So when somebody says something and we say, yeah, I wouldn't see it that way, I wouldn't think about it that way, and they so you think my idea is not X. No, I never said that. I just said from my perspective, my understanding, my apprenticeship of life doesn't allow me to see the data or taste the data or feel the data or smell the data the way you do. The way you do it, the way you see it, the way you understand it, I get it. Now, that's in the personal category. Now, in the business category, business is a system. If you've done your apprenticeship and you've had to deal with so many, you could be dealing with 100 problems a day.
Yeah.
But if you've got problems, you've got no policies and procedures unless the problems are that the policies and procedures have been broke. So to have policies and procedures, you need a plan. Then you have policies, procedures, protocols, and you put people in those roles. So then if somebody comes to me and I'm the head guy or the head girl, and they go, well, Lee, can you do X? And I can't say, well, talk to J department or talk to Z department. When we're the CEO of the company, or we're the entrepreneur CEO, we've got no team, it's just us. Every time somebody asks us, it can be very hard to say no.
Yeah.
Personally, it can be very hard to say no. Professionally, it can be very hard to say no if you don't have plans, policies, and procedures, and outcomes, and processes, and who you're doing it for. So if you know where you're going, the same way if you were getting on the train at London and you were going to, say, Holyhead, you go in and you ask for your ticket. Mm-hmm. And you say, well, I'd like to get a ticket from Victoria to Holyhead, the boat train. Yeah, that'd be XYZ price. You go, fair enough. Now, the price is the currency we put in. In real world terms, it's the money. But if they go, would you like to go via Blackpool? Well, no. Okay. Would you like to? Now, we can send you up to Edinburgh, over to down then to Manchester and Liverpool, and then we can take you up. No. Would you like to go through the Channel Tunnel, through France, over through Europe and round and back over, and we'll get you the boat crossing, yeah, over to Liverpool, and then get to Holyhead? No. Why? Because I want to get from A to B in the quickest, shortest possible time. And do you want to go on the mail train? No, I want a bit of comfort with it. I don't want to be sitting on the mail bags in the carriage. And what's my point? If you haven't got a plan on where you're going that's in line with your passion, you could end up in Europe and think you're going to Holyhead. Yeah, you could, if you took it in the flight scenario, just in case people aren't aware of where Holyhead is. If you're at like JFK Airport and you want to fly to Ireland, you're going to fly in, and if people hear it the right way, because it could sound Lee knows everything and thinks he does. I'm not saying that. In my head, it's in my head, and it's my head. So because it's in my head, I can think about it however I like, because it's in my head. When I say out here, I don't think that. I know you don't think that, because in your head, you might be thinking something else. And I have enough awareness to realise that. So Paul can think whatever he wants. Joanne can think whatever she wants. And I know that's her personal space. So I've got no right to tell Joanne what to think. That's why I don't like political correctness, because it's a controlled thought. So I love respect. I love honour. I love diversity.
Yeah.
And I love all the things that people do. I might not always understand it, but if they're genuinely doing it, it's not from a political agenda, then that's fine. If it's affecting somebody else or asking somebody else to change, then I don't think that. That's control. But that's another story. But let's take it back to, it's very simple. If you want to fly from America to Ireland, or you want to fly to America to the UK, and you're going on a commercial airline, yeah, now if you get a private jet, you can change the rules, right? But where in America are you flying from? JFK, brilliant. Where in the UK do you want to land? Well, I want to land in Brighton, just by the pier. No, you can't do that. Why can't you do that? That's where I want to go to. Yeah, we don't land in Brighton. We can land at Heathrow, we can land at London City, or we can land at Stansted, or we can land at Luton. They are the landing zones. Now, or Gatwick. So what I recommend, because you're going to Brighton, you need to land at Gatwick. That's the nearest airport for you to land. Now, if you land at Stansted, yeah, or Heathrow, they're roughly the same. Luton, yeah, a bit further out. Now, or you can land at Manchester. Yeah, you can land at Birmingham City. You can land at Edinburgh. There's loads of airports in the UK, so you're not restricted. But because you want to go to Brighton, you need to land at Gatwick because it's the nearest point. When we take that into our life, what is the nearest point to your success? Then you've got to have a port of entry to that success.
Yeah.
And if you're all over the place, because your passion is all over the place, but what we do as humans, yeah, bear in mind I use the word we, encompassing, and not you, yeah, is this. Our passion's sporadic, and then we realise we're not getting to the right airport. So what we do is we go, well, I'm not getting to the right airport because of bloody Paul. He keeps distracting me. Yeah, so he's always using me. So Paul, pee off. Yeah, and then there's Joanne. I mean, Joanne's doing the same to me. There's John doing the same to me. There's Frank doing the same to me. Right, that's it. And then we extinguish all these people out of our lives. And then, personally, we feel very guilty, and then our emotional currency goes down. And then we go, well, which airport? I can't really think about it in a minute. I'm so shocked that I've allowed all these people to use me.
Yeah, sounds like my past, Leah. Sounds like
right. And now we're trying to get mates. And now then we want to read this book, and we want to read that book. If we just understood the port of entry to success, where do you want to go? And on that journey, whether you're traveling by train, yeah, or plane, or possibly automobile, the roads, the motorways are designed. You might say, why isn't there a motorway through like the bottom end of Wales, from Cardiff up to Holyhead? Why isn't there? Why do you have to go all the way over to the M40 or the M1 or to get up there? Because that's the most direct route. Well, it's not direct for me. I need to go here. Yeah? But the majority of people want to go that way. Now, what the entrepreneurs want to do, they want to go their own way. And they want to carve their own path. Now, that can be from the resilience of trauma.
Oh, wow.
And then when other people don't understand them and they go, right, well, where are you heading? Well, I'm heading to Holyhead via the bushcraft method. I'm going to go through and hack down. I'm in the jungle of life. And anyone that gets in my way, I'm going to take their legs off. And you think, well, hang about, wouldn't it be wise just to think about, well, I'm not going up the motorway, yeah, but if you went up the motorway, you wouldn't need the machete. And if you filled your car up first, have you done your apprenticeship? Yeah, you got all your fuel and your oil checked. Have you done your tyres, done your tyre pressure? I don't think that's necessary. No, it is necessary. You have to do a human audit and you have to do a professional audit. Are you autonomous? And are you blaming Paul because you want an excuse not to see that you're the problem?
Lee, let me because we down to our last 5 minutes, and here's the thought. So we looked at personal, professional, passion, and then we touched into people, because profits should come organically.
It all comes from people. It all comes from people.
But do you think that this could be this could be, an inside out also, in a sense of people?
It's all an inside out job.
People, yeah, people. We can meet people that manipulate our passion. That then.
Well, that's the point. Do they manipulate it? As in, do they intentionally use it, which means they consciously decided? So when they consciously decide to use you, that's toxic. When they do it and it's organic and they've got no awareness to it, that isn't toxic. We have to draw a line between the two.
But what is that, though? If they're not aware, what does that mean?
Well, it means I'm not constructing my thoughts to get Paul, to control Paul, to motivate and inspire Paul, to use Paul, to get Paul to do something he wouldn't normally do, and to do it for my favour. And imply that I'm doing it in the personal. Well, Paul, and how's your new place going, mate? Yeah, oh yeah, lovely place. I was only talking to Ross about it the other day. How long have you been there? A couple of years. It must be a couple of years since I helped you move in. And you got the ducks and that now. Which room was that in? Oh, brilliant. Yeah, and I remember when I helped you move into that place in London. Yeah, that must be, 15 years ago. I mean, you had some stuff then. You sort of decluttered a bit. I remember when I had to bring my big truck and my two guys, and we had thing, and I mean, those bacon sandwiches Dee gave us as a reward for helping us, and I still can taste them now. Matt, when you sort of have done that hard day's work and you're not expecting something, you're really hungry, you get fed. It's amazing what it tastes. It's amazing when we go on journeys in life, and I'm aiming to go somewhere, and I'm hoping, because I've always supported you, that you might be able to support me. Now, I've thrown it that way, but if you listen back to it, I'm now cashing in on interactions I've had with you. If you're my friend and I'm genuine, I'm happy to help you move. If it doesn't, if I'm not giving up something, and sometimes because you're my friend at a high level, I will give up something. Yeah, now, will I give up going to my daughter's wedding to help Paul move? No, Paul, I can't because I'm committed. No. And that's what a plan is, commitment. Because we can't get profits without commitment. However, some people use commitment as a shield to exclude the personal, because they feel once they succeed, that they have the time and the money then to reward everybody. What they fail to realize is if they just keep focusing on the profits, that they won't have anybody.
Wow, that's so true.
So there has to be an ecosystem to it. The profits, we do need the profits, and people think earning a living is profits. No, earning a living is food, water, shelter, lighting, heating. That's earning a living, and I wouldn't use that language. I'm very good at earning a living. That means I can put branded stuff on my table, and the lights are always on. I'm never worried about the red bill on the doormat. I've never focused on profits. I've always focused on passion outcomes. Wow. And then which people align with it. This is in my personal and professional, and I'm very good at finding the right people honorably, not looking to use anybody, but I ask them their passion. Or sometimes I see their passion and they don't see it. And then I might ask them a few questions, not looking to control them, not looking to say, well, look, eat pepperoni pizza, it'd be good for you. A bit like that castor oil stuff. Open your mouth, hold your nose. Some people need a dose of good medicine, and you hear it in the language.
Yeah.
But self-prescription a bit like, I don't know, I'm feeling this pain in my elbow. I'll shoot on Dr. Google and find out. Yeah. It says this. I'm not a hypochondriac. It says this. It's tennis elbow. Do you play tennis? Well, it's not like that. But Google says it. Now, information's one thing, experience is another. It could be 1,000 things.
Yeah.
Have you banged it recently? Yeah, I banged it a week ago. But that's nothing to do with it. Right. Yeah. And a doctor will ask specific questions because they're trained to do it. If we're not trained to align our future correctly and plan our future, then a good coach, consultant, or mentor sometimes, mentor's a different analogy, a mentor knows what train ticket to buy.
Yeah.
You need to be on there, and they'll tell you what time to get on the platform, and you need which platform. Yeah, and they'll tell you. And they'll also tell you what to pack in your case to go on your journey, a good mentor, because they've been on that journey hundreds of times. Now, a good coach, now, if they've got experience, yeah, in that area, then they could be a mentor as well as a coach or a consultant. But a coach is a person that digs the best out of you underneath the drama.
So you make your own decision then. The coach gets you to make your own decision. Is that correct?
Well, you make your own decision or to get the noise out of the way, because that's half the bit. And it is a different level of coach. There's the life coach and there's the business coach. There's a high performance coach, because when you're playing up, depending on how high you want to go in the profits, when you're playing up at the top end, a fraction of a percent. Yeah, because bear in mind, success is in the fractions. I mean, you can boil a kettle, and it won't go to steam until it reaches, I think, like that last little bit. I can't remember the percentage, but it's like 99 point. Up until then, it still remains, it's just hot water. When it goes to steam, it can power so much more. So a good performance coach, which is the world I play in, it's about taking those little fractions of data out that are stopping it turning into power. Now, if we're just a general everyday, want to be successful, stand in our own autonomy, those profits, regardless of which area you're in, it's always going to come from people. And if you're not passionate about their autonomy and aligning passions, then you're going to have staff leaving, you're going to have your relationships broken. You have to have your core people. But sometimes your core people will tell you what they think, what they feel, what they think is their choice, what they feel is theirs. But when they want to put that into the professional, into a plan, feelings have no place in business, nor do thoughts, nor do opinions. Strategy and planning with experience is business. And when somebody says, I think this, brilliant, thank you for sharing your thoughts. Well, so you're not going to listen to me then. Or if you confuse listening with us taking your thought and throwing it into a 10-year plan, that's not us listening, that's you expecting or controlling. Have you got some scientific data? Have you got something that we can utilize, to verify? Because that's what business is. It's not your opinion, however long you've had it, but like a doctor's opinion. A doctor's opinion is that good that when you get one, sometimes one you don't like, you want to go and get a second one. Opinions ain't worth the paper they're written on. However, experience with somebody. So if you're missing a part of your plan or a part of something, person with the experience, because they'll tell you the piece you're missing.
Yeah.
You might like to hear it because you might have to have a wake up. Well, I was thinking this, and I was thinking, so you think I'm wrong then? Oh, put your toys back in the pram. Yeah, get out and get your nappy off. Put your long trousers on. We ain't got time for you to mature. Yeah. If you're in business, then you've got to come with a certain autonomy.
Yeah.
And if you're in personal, same rules apply. At some point, if you keep getting the same things happening in your life or the same things happening in your business, the common denominator might be you. Wow.
Let me jump in there, Lee, because we have gone a couple of minutes over.
That's right.
So let's, if we need some wrap up thoughts to this, let's push them in, because here's what I'm getting from this, which is, the importance of your passion is really about how in tune you are, and you just put it that way within.
You've got to know your destination. You've got to know your destination. Your passion is your fuel for getting there.
Wow.
But you will not get there on your own. It don't matter how many train tickets you buy, you still need the train, you still need the people that make the train, the people that make the railway, the people that sell you the ticket, the people that clean the train.
Wow.
You need all these things. And if I did it on my own. Oh, right, yeah. What happened to you? What happened to you when you I'm a self-made person, yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I could see you trying to stand up on the inside. What pushed you down? Yeah, we're all self-made in a roundabout way, but I can assure you, I could say I'm a self-made man. But you take Roz out of my life, you take the kids out of my life, you take so many people out of my life, even you. My life would be totally different.
Yeah.
We can't have success on our own. So, like, passion with some planning on it with the right people. Now, the right people doesn't mean we consume.
Yeah.
But I can assure you, if they, and you got to hear this one, because I mean, this might be the biggest wet fish round the ear roll. Yeah, is this. And I swear to you, this could be the biggest wake up. This could change your whole life. And it could be just Lee Tunney wears perspective. If you've got people around you that you've been peeing off because of your passion, and your outbursts, and they're still with you. Oh, man, if you could ever see them, you've got some phenomenal people still standing beside you, shoulder to shoulder, but you might be thinking, they don't support me, they don't this, so they're still with you. Yeah, have an audit on how you've treated them over the last 3 months, 3 years. Yeah, and if you've treated them badly, and you can say to an honourable 10, I've treated them to the highest standard, that's the way you treat a human. If you could say that, then, they might be toxic. Somebody having a different idea to you, a different opinion to you, a different feeling to you is normal. It's a given.
Yeah.
It's like oxygen. And if you think because they have a different opinion to yours that they're putting you down, you need to grow up. You need to get some self-awareness. But if they're still standing beside you, or you still got a job with your trauma and drama, perhaps today's the day you wake up and see them for who they are. They're supportive. They're there for you, and they might even have the awareness to recognise that you're an AH. Yeah, I don't know what you.
Yeah, no.
But you might say, but they put up with me. I mean, what would happen if they didn't have to put up with you? What would you get out of them then?
Yeah.
You can't have a row with your wife and expect her to give you a passionate kiss, or your partner, or your husband. Yeah, you can't. You can't go have the row and then go, right, let's go, I mean, it don't work that way. And now, you might get away with it in the early days of your relationship. You throw 20 years on that.
Yeah.
Each time you do it, you're just opening up the wound of yesteryear.
Yeah.
So the point is, at what point where you're going to stand up on the inside and go, well, this is what I'm passionate about. Now, if your profits are getting in the way, I can't do that, I can't do this, I can't. Well, that's fine. At this moment, have that self-awareness and put, say, 3 months on it. So what are you going to do different over the next 3 months?
Mm-hmm.
Not who are you going to blame? I'm going to tell Paul Rees to go. Because it's him that's holding me back. Oh, it's him that's holding you back. So you have that little power in your world that anybody can hold you back. So you're not really passionate at all. Stop blaming, shaming, guilting, because what you're actually saying is, I don't have any autonomy and I don't have any awareness to have any control in my life. I cannot communicate. How can I communicate to Paul? He never listens. That's just the... so to put it all in a nutshell, so there's a takeaway, and I'm not putting the people down that do that. We've all done it, me included, I'm sure you have. But have the awareness, because that's the transition. That's where we can go, I'm going from JFK to Gatwick Airport.
Yeah.
Why? Because I'm going to Brighton and I'm meeting with Paul, Julian, Roz, Debs, whoever. Yeah. And we're going there. And what are we going to do there? We're going for profits. Now, if you really want to see it in the politics, a lot of the Conservative politicians go to Brighton and they have a time and a date and a place and they meet and they tell everybody their plan. Who's on your team? Who's your plan? And where you're going to meet? Because if you ain't meeting with them, you're leaving it sporadic. Who has stood beside you, even if you've treated them like a complete dog, and you're getting it, oh my God, I can't believe, then go back and apologise and thank them for their support. they're still going to think thoughts that you ain't going to like.
I love that, Lee. I love that. You're right. They're still going to think of thoughts you won't like, but that doesn't make them wrong. It doesn't make them.
That actually makes them honourable sometimes. If each time you outburst because they tell you something that you're always putting me down. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. You're always doing it. No, it's that you might be unaccepting of wisdom. Or you might be unaccepting of another person's opinion, because what are you not hearing that's stopping you from getting to the right point?
Wow, Lee, I've just written that in amongst my tons of notes, unaccepting of wisdom. We are going to make an episode on that. This is absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much again for your mind, heart, soul, and everything that comes with that, my friend. It's been beautiful. And here we are. Another fantastic episode with amazing Lee Tunney, where myself pushing up the back the best I can. Remember, like, subscribe, comment. Lee is always here. I'm always here. I mean, let's push this series right up into the universe, and let's really get this out to everybody. That's coming up behind us, because this is why we're doing this. It's for the future of everybody in their lives, business, and all that comes with that. Lee, thank you so much.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you, everybody. And I look forward to our next one.
Happy days, and bye from now.